Well, I'm guessing I'm live, right? It happens the second you do it. All right. Hey, it's Friday night. Thought I'd just take a couple minutes and go live. The group's been so active today with congratulations messages. A lot of growing in the group, a lot of new executives, a lot of new LOIs. So happy for all of you ranking up. If you're new, all that probably sounds like gibberish. We try to sort that out on these meetings or on these 10 at 10s each week. Wow, stunned. Okay, I'll get going here. Um, so it's Labor Day weekend, beautiful weekend here in Utah. I took a little time today and played a little golf after all the craziness at the end of the month. And so here we are, brand new month, brand new September. Kids are back in school. Traditionally, it's a great time for people to start a new business and get focused into the fall and then into the holiday season. So September, October, November are traditionally huge recruiting months. And so that'll be a big focus this month. I wanted to talk about that tonight and just talk a little bit about recruiting. And I made some notes. So I really think that in my experience, there's really only four things that you need to overcome to really be able to build this business. And the first one is rejection. You know, some people are just going to say no. And it really boils down to how you respond to that. There's really maybe four ways, there's probably a lot of different ways to respond to rejection. But the first one is to take it personally. And I think that, you know, people that take it personally, that are a little bit thin-skinned about it, um, that's going to be really challenging. That response is not a very efficient response. There's a million things going on in people's lives. Uh, a lot of times it's just timing, and I'm going to talk about that here in a second. So that one's not very efficient. To take it personally, it's just a refusal of service. It's like a stewardess going down the fuselage of an airplane and saying, coffee, coffee, coffee. And, she's not going to get crazy. And after four or five no's, she's not going to jump out of the airplane. And sadly, people that take rejection personally, sometimes that's what they do. They just think, you know, everybody's going to say no. Well, that's a lot of people. There's 7 billion people on the planet. And after four no's, you can't really make that judgment. So that's the first way. The second one is to just realize that you maybe talked to the wrong person. Maybe it's the wrong time for them. We don't know what's going on in people's lives. Maybe they're, going through a divorce, or they just started a business, or they just paid for college, or they just, there's a million things that would keep a person from even entertaining something new. And even as simple as this is, and even as little time as selling, particularly whitening toothpaste, you just don't know what's going on in a person's mind. So the third one is to understand that you maybe overtalked it. This is a pretty simple model. And what happens, I think, is as new people learn more, they want to tell everything that they know. And so, people come out of the gate really hard, and they, sell a lot of toothpaste, a lot of whitening toothpaste. They recruit a lot of people, mostly just because they're excited. And then what happens is the more you start knowing, the more you want to start telling. And that is a real, that's a real problem. Blake, I think, says it best. He says, talk less, say more. That's a great motto. He's said that several times on this, on our 10 at 10. And I agree. I try to fight that back all the time for myself and try to really make it super simple for people to get started. Obviously, there's things that we need to know, and that's what we try to do here in this group. Is we try to be encouraging, we try to be motivational, we try to help each other, try to answer questions. I think we're doing a remarkable job of doing that, and so just realize that sometimes your story falls on ears that aren't listening. The seeds fall on soil that's dry, and they're just not going to take roots. And so you just need to tell that story again and again. The third thing that happens with rejection is just not telling the story in an efficient way. I think I got lost there. That's the third way. I kind of covered that one. The fourth one is to just assume that people are dumb, and that that was just reserved for bullies and narcissists and people that are kind of megalomaniacs. And we're not going to recruit everybody. What we have is not for everybody. And so those are kind of the four responses. The middle two are the most efficient, to just understand that sometimes it's just the wrong time for a person. You're just talking to the wrong person. They don't want what you have. They're not looking to work at home. They're not looking for white teeth. And as stunning as that feels, it's just the wrong person at the wrong time. And then, path number 3 is just really getting confident. And the more you know, say less. Just we used to always talk about the 4 stages of that. You come in, you're kind of unconsciously excited, unconsciously incompetent, and you just do really good because you just are so excited. And then you become consciously incompetent, and then you start to want to learn everything, and then you become consciously competent, and you want to let everybody know that you're competent. And then there's unconscious competence, when it just becomes so natural to you that it rolls off your tongue, and it just inspires confidence. So understand that there's stages of learning associated with dealing with offering something to people. And so that's the biggest barrier. The number one barrier in recruiting a team is just learning to deal with rejection, learning how to make it make sense in your mind. And I don't like the approach of kind of go for no. I don't like that. That's not really me. What I like is going through the numbers and understanding that I'm looking for the right person at the right time in their life that's looking, and that person's going to jump right in. So the second things, there's really only 4 barriers, and I'm not going to overtalk this tonight, but the kind of barriers to entry into this business are first rejection and getting it correct in your mind, and then the next one is just dealing with apathy, both your own and in other people. You recruit these unbelievable people, and they have so much talent. You can see the circle of influence they have, and you can see that the business really fits for them, and then they don't do anything, and you go, what? And that can be a little discouraging. It's like you have this great person, and you think that they have all this potential, and they just don't really see it for themselves. Again, they may fall in that category where they just aren't the right place at the right time in their life. And that could be a little discouraging. And then apathy also shows up in yourself. And we all deal with this. I deal with it. The TV, I like to explain this. There's no PV or GV in TV. And, sometimes you just got to unstring the bow. Sometimes you just can't keep going. And you just need to back down, take a little rest. And I don't recommend that for very long, because the pool gets colder as you stand on the deck, right? Maybe somebody will get that. But it's true. It's easier to stay in the water than it is to dive back in. So be consistent is tremendous advice. And then the last one, the last barrier is, well, the last two barriers is one, people are going to quit. They just do. People quit everything. They quit flossing their teeth. They quit their diet. They quit their workout program. They quit their marriages. They quit this business. They quit their dreams. It's just a human nature thing. People who are extremely efficient human beings and achieve their goals are the ones who just don't quit, right? And so attrition, having people come into your team and then leave your team, that can also be a little bit discouraging. You just keep going, right? That's the only strategy for overcoming that barrier. And then the last one is just distractions. You got to manage them. This is a great example this weekend. You want to continue to be consistent. It's Labor Day weekend. Hey, I want to go play. And, but I'm going to keep my phone with me and be engaged and be boosting and be recruiting and be talking to people and, all the things that I've always done, I will continue to do. And I think that consistency is really, where the game is won. So, hopefully that was a nice Friday wrap. Couple quick things that if you made it through this dribble, it's Labor Day weekend, so Monday in the U.S. only. I know that we get a lot of internationals that listen to this. There is free, so it's free shipping on orders over $49. Now that would be an order that's $49 wholesale. That doesn't include tax. So, be careful as you pass this information around. We don't want people confused with it. Normally, the threshold on that's $150, so this is a nice way to get a few products and get them, for cheap shipping. It's a nice holiday kind of promotion. All right, fantastic month. Let's hit this month hard. Set big goals. Let's if you're an executive, start getting those Africa points. And also now, you're getting paid great money to be an executive. If you're not, then you want to keep charging toward that rank, charging toward that goal where you can be paid on your whole team. If you love to social sell, we love having you here. All right. Have a great Labor Day weekend. The weather's going to be fantastic. And thanks for all the great teamwork. Okay. Talk to you soon.